Hello everyone and welcome to the third race of the Formula SimRacing 2014 A Series. We are here at China for the Shanghai International Circuit, which is a 5.4 kilometer long circuit. It's a very long straight, I'm sure everyone will know it, a straight of almost 1.2 kilometers. And we have two compounds here for this weekend, soft and hard, and today I'm joined by James Sadler and Matt.
Hello everyone, and it's great to be here, and I'm really looking forward to this ace race.
Right, so before we start off, I would like to mention that Mara Godek from Go Speed Racing isn't here. He has a race ban after the incident in Malaysia. We hope to see a very clean first corner here, or the first couple of corners, I should say. People starting from the pit: Luca Desi, Gennaro Saliento, and Sultan Suti, and that is also they have also received penalties after the Malaysian Grand Prix. So currently we are in practice, just waiting for the qualifying to start.
Sharon, what times do you think we'll be looking at for qualifying?
Well, we have right now a 37.8 on the board, but I definitely think that people will go into the 36s. We have seen that before as well in the practice. A high 36 is definitely possible. So I think the top people, the top 5 at least, will be in the 36s. Maybe I do expect it to be pretty close though. I do expect it as well to be a very interesting race with the two tire compounds, soft and hard. I mean, the soft is really quick, but the wear is out pretty quick as well. So we might see some interesting strategies here from the teams.
Yeah, I think we definitely will. But also, I think we're also going to the 36 because the rubber isn't on the track at the moment. So we'll have to wait till qualifying to see what times we'll get.
Exactly, yeah. So looking at the Drivers' Championship, we have Jerry Toman. He is leading the pack by quite a few points actually. And he has 119 points. And then second is Marco Condi. He has 84 points. Third is Mohamed Paddle. Fourth is Johnny Seaman, and he has equal his points with Daniel Kiss. Sixth is Alvaro Torres. Seventh is Mitchie Hoyer. Eighth is Norbert Liedner. He is equal with points as well with Thomas Severly. And 10th is Martin Hodes. So that's how the championship looks like. Currently, Precision Motorsport is leading with 62 points over Twister Racing Blue in the Constructors' Championship. We should go to qualifying pretty soon.
So we're now heading into qualifying, where the top 10 drivers will then advance to the Q2 session, where they will get one flying lap. So we will wish all the drivers all the best.
Exactly, 10 minutes qualifying. As the drivers wait for the light to go green, there we go. So qualifying is on, 10 minutes qualifying, 3 setups, no park for me. So here we go, drivers are going out on track. What do you think will be strong during the qualifying? I mean, we have seen Jeroen, he is currently leading, but which driver is the driver you're looking out for at the moment, James?
I think it'll be Sherry as well, and I think Carlos Martin might be up there as well. He's shown some pretty good pace in the past, so we'll just have to wait to see. Maybe Alvaro Torres did really well in the World Trophy, which was the Pro this year. He did really well last year, so we could see something from Alvaro Torres as well. And also Mohamed Patel, you know, you look at him and he won the first race at Bahrain, so we could see a very close third pole position.
Oh yeah, definitely. Seems like Martin Hodes is the first one to cross the line and start his qualifying lap, so let's ride on board with his lap. So here we go, Martin Hodes crossing the line now, starting his qualifying lap. He's going to enter this very tricky turn one. Goes right and right and right, basically. It's a very long right-hander. You have to be patient here. You have to have a really stable car. Have no understeer but no oversteer at the same time on entry as he enters now that left-hander. And this is a very important exit here. You want to get as early on the throttle as you can. And he's right now going up to the next corner, which is corner 6. He went to first gear through there for a brief moment. You can keep it in second if you want. And corner 7 and 8, flat out corner 7. Corner 8 you have to lift off here, use a bit of your brakes as he enters corners 9 and 10. Second gear here. We will see, I think, a lot of drivers short shifting through there. Yeah, he did it as well, short shift up to 4th gear. Just to get the best traction, really. Corner 11 and 12. Very important to get corner 11 right to open up corner 12, which leads onto the very long back straight. This is corner 13 he's going through now, and the exit will be very important there as well in the race. The DRS will be here. There you saw there the DRS detection line or activation zone, not the detection. Then corner 14. Braking just before the 100 meter mark. Seems like he's on for a pretty good lap. Corner 16, left-hander. Should be 3rd gear. Yeah, there he goes. 3rd gear up to 4th now, and opening up the DRS for a very short time. As he crosses the line to 137.5, but straight away Mohamed Patel has done a 36.6, which is a very, very quick lap. So he's currently in pole, as there are a lot of drivers right now completing their laps. Six minutes left in this qualifying, and we have some people going out on the track again who have just set their lap times. Currently, Jeroen is in second, only 8 100ths down on Mohamed Patel. So indeed, we should have a pretty good battle here for pole position once we advance to Q2. But yeah, indeed, a lot of people in the 36s, top 6. Daniel Kiss now goes on, and he did a 36.5, which is pretty quick, as Mitchie Hoyer right now is in the final sector, approaching the final corner, corner 16. Pretty sweet exit there. See what he can do. Well, his lap time is a 38.2, which is quite a bit off the pace actually. He's 1.6 seconds down on Daniel Kiss. Good lap from Daniel Kiss though, a mid 36, that's pretty quick. I presume all the drivers will be on the softer tire as well. There's no point running the hard tire here. There's no park for me, as I said.
Yeah, exactly.
So James, we see Mohammed Palo right now approaching the corner number 14. So can you take us through a lap, through his Polo lap?
Yeah, I sure can. Yeah, I sure will. So here we go. As Mohammed Patel starts his flying lap, and he's heading into turn 1. And it's third gear, braking and using the throttle as he goes around into turn 3. Again, a nice exit with second gear, and nice exit from Mohammed Patel. Heading down into turn 6, and he's using second gear again, and nice traction again from Mohammed Patel. He should be flat through turns 7 and through turn 7, and then it should be, and then we'll brake and turn into turn 8 when you've got 9 and 10, and he should maybe flat through here, third gear. That's a nice line from Mohammed Patel there. Second gear into turn 11, then 12, and then again the power down nicely from Mohammed Patel through turn 13, and now you've got this long back straight where he'll be heading down into turn 14 with DRS open. Brakes quite late, first gear, and again another good drive out of turns 14 and 15, and now heading up to turn 16, third gear. What will this time be? DRS open.
Ooh,
136.526. Great luck for Mohammed Patel there.
Yeah, first place in this session. 3 minutes to go, and we will have a look right now what's going on. Around 10th place. Currently, Martin Hodes in the Precision Motorsport is in 10th place. See if he can improve his lap time as he goes out on track right now. Thomas Saverly, 9th position, Go Speed Racing Team. He might be on the threat as well to get kicked out of this session. Johnny Seaman in 8th. Danny Van der Niet 11th. He's looking to improve his lap time, but he has to improve his lap time by 3/10 really, if he wants to get into that in the top 10, as he has just improved his time actually, but only slightly. He's less than a 10th faster than his previous time, so that's not gonna help him. Seems like Patel is staying in the pits right now. No, he's not just getting out on track right now, so there we go. Let's see if Martin Hodes can improve his lap time. He's currently on an out lap though, he's in corner 13. He's in 10th position. I'm sure he will be happy if he can improve his time slightly. If he improves it by a 10th already, he might be up into position 8 already. Position number 8 and 10, 8, 9 and 10 are only separated by 1.5 tenths.
Yeah, it's just so close, and it just shows how amazing these drivers are. They're getting so close to the World Championship, and they're really showing their great pace.
Yeah, definitely. Very competitive as Martin Hodes starts his lap. DRS is wide open, coming onto the first corner. He flicks it in there, goes down through the gears, should be in second gear. The next corner. Now he even goes to third gear, tries to get that front end to turn in. And then the exterior uses a short shift and on the power nicely. He's on 25.6 first sector, which is not bad. It's pretty decent. Let's see what the second sector will be like.
And Jeroen just gone purple in the first sector with a 25.452. Great stuff for Jeroen there.
Martin Hodes now rounding up the second sector. He's still in 10th position. No improvements just yet from the drivers. He has done a 29.1 in the second sector. Just slightly off the pace, but it's not too bad actually. I think he's on for an improvement here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure if he gets into the top 10, I'm sure he'll be delighted with that.
Yeah, and that will mean that Thomas Severly will be dropped back to the 10th position, so he might be then on the thread. But currently, Martin Hodes comes onto corner 14. Seems pretty stable here. Everything goes well. Approaching the final corner now, corner 16. Left-hander, still in 10th position. No improvements just yet. As he crosses the line now, opens up the DRS, and that's a 137.3. So he actually didn't improve. And he stays 10th though, because that's the session done. So top 10 is through. But I think we might have had a slight glitch because well, the timer reached 0, but I'm sure there were still some people who were allowed to do a lap. But somehow we went on to the next session. Bit of a weird situation here, but I'm just going to pretend like qualifying 2 has just started. I'll keep you updated, I guess, as Mohammed Pedal is right now not on track. I think no one is on track just yet. There's a bit of confusion going around here. I mean, the timer reached 0, but usually, you know, when you cross the line with a couple of seconds to go, you're still allowed to do a lap. But the session got cut off there. So 4 minutes to go in this qualifying 2. Park for May is on. I don't know what the organization is going to do right now. I guess this is the time right now to mention that Jarko, our man who is normally streaming, is away. That's why we have Sam Jones, who is currently streaming the video. So thank you to Sam. There might be some issues, because this is obviously his I guess it's his first time streaming, and it does look like we just started Q2. So here we go then. Bit of a confusing situation, but nevertheless we are starting now Q2. So Mohammed Pedal straight out on the track. Same for Daniel Kiss, Carlos Martin, and Norbert Lieder. It seems like Norbert Lieder is the first one to do the lap. 3 minutes to go, just over 3 minutes actually, but the drivers will only have 1 lap to get it right. So they have 1 lap and that's it. So making 1 mistake and you could well end up in that 10th position. So as we've mentioned before, only the top 10 is allowed to drive right now. And it does look like a lot of people are out on track, apart from Alvaro Torres, Marco Condi, Jerry Toman and Martin Odes. But Jerry Toman goes on the track right now. So let's drive on board with Liedner. I think he's the first one to do a lap.
Yeah, he is.
Everyone out on track except for Hoda, so he's still waiting. He wants to put in a lap pretty late, it looks like it. As Norbert Lieder swerves a little bit on a very, very long straight. It is indeed a very long straight. Might be the long straight on the calendar. I'm not sure actually, because Indianapolis has been recently added, and that has a very, very long straight as well. But nevertheless, Norbert Lieder starts his lap. So James, can you talk us through again?
Yeah, I can. So here we go. Norbert Liedner is starting his final lap as he goes into turn 1. He'll going through all the gears, heading down into second gear for turn 2. And I said dropping down into turn 3, second gear again. And get some nice traction. And now he's heading down into turn 6. Good turn in and gets a nice exit through the corner. Now he should be flat through turn 7. And then we'll brake ever so slightly to go into turn 8, get a good entry into turn 8, and then he's now braking down to turn 9 and 10, and then gets a good exit out of turn 10. So it's now breaking down into turn 11, second gear, and then heading into turn 12, and now getting good traction out to turn 13. And then he's got this long straight, and you will see the DRS activation point, and DRS is now open, and now he's heading down into turn 14, where he should be second gear and braking at the 100-meter board. Brakes. Oh, he got a bit of a slide there. Now he's in first gear. Oh, and another big slide from Norbert Liedner. What time will this be? He's now entering into turn 14. What time will this be? It is a 1:36.992. Not a bad lap for Norbert there, but I'm sure someone will beat it. And in fact, Carlos Martin does.
Yeah, Carlos Martin has beaten it, but meanwhile, Jeroen Thoman has gone pretty quick in the first sector. So has Padal. So they are battling a little bit right now on track as they are trying to complete the lap. So Mohamed Padal right now going through the final corner. As he crosses the line right now, what's the time going to be like? It's second, 36.8. He must have made a mistake, I think, somewhere in his lap. And currently, we still have some people out on track as currently Daniel Kiss in 4th position with a low 37, half a second off the pace. John Seaman, he's in 5th currently.
Concerning Mohamed Patel, he went 3/10 down to Carlos Martin's mid-sector, so that could be the reason why he wasn't on pole, and that's why he lost 3/10.
Yeah, there we go. So Alvaro Torres once again goes around the final corner. Now let's have a look at his sector times. Pretty decent, I would say, actually. He's on for a very good lap, so here he goes. 36.5 indeed. He's only 2 away from pole, so he need a very close gap there. As Marco Condi as well crosses the line. 36.6, so he goes 4th currently, with Martin Hodes yet to cross the line. This is a motorsports car. Here he goes, opening up the DRS, coming across the line, and he takes 9th place with a 37.3, 8/10 of pole position. Pole position from Carlos Martin and Alvaro Torres in 2nd, both driving for Crown 7 Netrax. And we had indeed a very close qualifying with Jeroen Thoman in 3rd. And actually Jeroen Thoman and Alvaro Torres' time, those times were equal. So incredible stuff there. Only about 2/100ths away from pole by Carlos Martin. So indeed an extremely close qualifying here with 3 people doing a 36.5. So what a qualifying actually. So here we go. Here we'll start the warm-up. This is just for the drivers to get used to the fuel load, stuff like that. They can just drive around a little bit before the race starts. So James, why don't you take us through the through the grid order?
Okay, so on pole position we have Carlos Martin driving for Crown 7 next, and then he's got his teammate Alvaro Torres in 2nd place, and then you've got Jeroen Thoman driving for Precision Motorsports in 3rd place. Then you've got Marco Conti driving for Twister Racing. And then we've got Mohamed Patel, who I think will be a little disappointed with 5th, but nevertheless still a good place to start in for him on the clean side of the track, I believe. And he's driving for Twister Racing. Then we've got Norbert Leitner driving for Faster Than Speed in 6th place. Daniel Kiss in 7th place driving for Twister. And we've got Thomas Sadler driving for Go Speed Racing in 8th. Martin Ho driving for Precision Motorsports in 9th. And Johnny Simon rounding out the top 10 with Biocross Positive SimRacing. Okay, so as the drivers start the warm-up session. I'm sure Carlos Martin will be very happy with his pole position. Let's hope he can convert that into a race win. 2 ex-pro division drivers, and they're showing their pace in the A Series. Maybe they can look to go to the World Championship. And I do believe we've got Matt Harto in the server. Hello, Matt.
Hi everybody, how are you? Sorry I'm a little bit late, I was having some good old R-Factor issues, but it sounded like a very interesting qualifying session going on. I'm gutted I kind of missed it, to be honest with you.
It was a good session, definitely close between a lot of drivers, especially around pole position. So good fight there. We should see a pretty interesting race here as well. As I said, with the pit stop strategy, so it will be an interesting race.
As long as everybody gets around the first two turns, which we all know are kind of chaotic here at Shanghai. We got that long right-hand corner that goes on forever, followed by that really tight left-hander, so it kind of means that you go side by side all the way around the first 2 or 3 turns, which usually creates a little bit of carnage.
Yeah, absolutely. It tightens up a little bit as well, which might cause some contact, but let's hope for a very clean start here, and hopefully everyone will survive. I mean, there's plenty of time to overtake with 34 laps in the race, and obviously you have this very long straight, which will definitely open up some overtaking opportunities. I think top speed will be definitely important here as well, so that might be a factor to look out for.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those tough tracks. There's a lot of them out there, though, that you have that long straight, so you need the straight line speed, but then you have that tight, twisting middle sector where you need the downforce. So it's really one of those tracks where you kind of can either have neither, or you can try and have both, but usually you'll end up with neither. You've got to really decide which is your main priority, whether you're going to struggle on the straight, or whether you're going to struggle a little bit more around the turns, or go for the balanced approach. So it'll be interesting to see the differences in the guys and the teams, and how each team's gone with the setup, and see if there's any flyers on the straight that can manage to pull their way up through the field. It really is the best place to overtake on this track. I think we'll all agree, the straight going into the hairpin. I don't know if there's really any other overtaking places. Maybe into turn 5, I think it is. Sometimes you see a little bit of overtaking, but there's not a whole lot of other places on the track to do it.
Yeah, maybe turn 1 as well. I mean, you have this very long straight. I think it's before corner 14. Yeah, it is. Between corners 13 and 14. There is a DRS zone there, so you can use DRS there. But I think there's another DRS zone. Yeah, there is another DRS zone on the main straight, start-finish straight. So you might use DRS to close up a little bit, going into corner 14, and then use it again down into the first corner to get that extra boost and overtake possibly someone.
Yeah, I think it's a very it's the good thing about DRS too, is it allows, like you said, just using that first DRS zone just to close up on the back, so you can actually be in more of an attacking phase when you come into the second DRS zone on the long straight, because you've gone through that whole high downforce section through there, and of course you get that little bit of aero wash, you get distracted with the driver in front, so you're always going to lose time when you're right behind the guy in front, so that first DRS zone is just there to kind of close up a little bit onto the back of the gearbox of the car in front and really try and attack down the straight. With DRS this year, of course, makes defending a lot more difficult. There's certainly some circumstances where you might not as well even defend. If the guy's right behind you and he's got DRS, there's not even any point in fighting for the position. It's not gonna be your position coming up to the corner.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But we have seen previously during the season that DRS isn't that effective. At least if you have a good straight line speed, you can defend against it. But as you said before, it will be interesting to see what drivers or the teams have done in terms of setup work. Have they gone for overall nice balance, or will they sacrifice their second sector to get better in the third sector? We'll see.
Yeah, something we're seeing a lot more with R-Factor 2 this year. There is a little bit more of a difference in the times too, just looking at the warm-up times. I mean, you used to seeing in FSR about 2 or 3 tenths between the entire field, but now with the different track changing conditions and things like that, it kind of opens it up just a little bit, but the times are still very close, and we expect them to be close at the top end of the field for the race. But it's just interesting to see this year, have you gone to R-Factor 2 now, and there's a lot more to think about going on, and I know there's a lot of guys from iRacing out there as well, and they understand how all this stuff works. So I'm looking forward to an interesting race, and hopefully there's no carnage at the first turn. I wonder if anybody's going to do... I'm just watching Mohammed Patel come into the pits. They're practicing some pit lane entrances. I wonder if anyone's going to do a Lewis Hamilton and get stuck on the grass. It's kind of a difficult breaking point for that pit lane.
Yeah, it's very tight in there as well, yeah.
So how much time exactly are we looking at, do you think, between the softer and the harder tires?
Oh, that's very hard. I haven't done really much testing myself, but I would say the harder tire can be over a second slower, maybe close to 2 seconds. But
wow,
it's a big gap. But we'll see. Actually, maybe it's a bit smaller, maybe it's a bit more. But we'll see, I guess, during this race.
Only time will tell, I suppose. James, who have you been looking at kind of in warm-up and thinks ready to make a bit of a surprise coming to the race?
I think Jeroen could be a surprise. He's always showed that he can be good coming up the field, as he did in Malaysia. So I think he could do well here.
So that's the James Magic pick. Everybody get the bets in. Put the money down. James has got his money down. So a minute and change remaining, a minute 40, this is a lot of change. Guys still kind of going around and really treating this warm-up session. It's pretty intense out there. Guys are really trying to get a feel for the track and the cars now, obviously with the heavier fuel. You know, it's a big difference, a big change when you take that fuel out and then you put it back in.
Yeah, and I'm just getting the confirmation here that there's about 1.5 seconds difference between hard and soft. So yeah, it will be interesting. You can maybe do a one stop with soft and then going on to the hards, but you will lose a lot of time, I think, in your hard stint compared to people who are doing softs again. So yeah, it will be interesting, but obviously you have to use both compounds.
That's the beauty of the rules this year. You know, like you said, you have to make both compounds work, and whether you use them at the beginning, at the end, either way you're going to be compromised. There's always going to be one tire that you're not going to want to use in the race, but now you have to use it, and everybody has to use it. So we'll definitely try and keep on track of who's using that tire where in the race, and see whether we've seen a few times in the real Formula One last year. I think it was actually this race where Webber put the bad tires on at the start, and then he'd have good tires for the end, and he would just blitz past people the last few laps. So you can gain advantages from doing that, but of course if you put the softer tires on first, you get the undercut. So it's a lot of calculating going out for these guys.
Yep, definitely. So we should be getting to the race very soonish, and then obviously we will first have a formation lap. Then we will start the race. So as we all have said, an exciting race should be coming up.
Does anybody see Precision Motorsports losing this race today?
Good question. I think there is a lot of competition, mainly from Crown 7 networks. They look very strong in qualifying, and as James has already said, you can never count out Jeroen.
So as we head into the race, all the drivers are going onto the grid. And Jeroen, do you want to take out the top 10 for us?
Yeah, sure. So Carlos Martin starts on pole. Alvaro Torres starts in second. So a good qualifying for Crown 7 networks. They are very close to each other. Jeroen in third. Marco Conde in fourth, as all the drivers go onto the grid now. Mohammed Patel in fifth. Norbert Lieder is sixth. Daniel Kiss seventh. Thomas Severly in eighth. Martin Hodes 9th and Johnny Seaman in 10th, as we seems like started the formation lap. Yeah, there we go.
11th place, Danny Van Den Eet. 12th was Michi Hoyer. 13th for Faster Than Speed was Thomas Mundy. 14th for Crown 7 Networks is Chris de Jong. Giordano Valeriano was 15th. Giuseppe Marconi, a familiar name, in 16th for FTS. 17th is Ertem Amazian. 18th is Mark Johnson. Alex Diaz in 19th. Joel Tienan is 20th. Gennaro Celiento in 21st. And Luca Desi is rounding out the field.
So we have indeed Celiento is starting from the pits. Same for Luca Desi. And we don't have Suti in the session, who should have had a penalty as well. He should have started from the pits, but he is not here. So I presume this penalty will be shoved to the next race. So he has to start from the back of the field or start from the pits in the next race.
It's always a gut-wrenching feeling when you go into the next race already with a penalty. It's just the worst feeling in the world, knowing all week that you know, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to have this penalty looming against you. But it does allow you, like I said, to really think about the best way to utilize it. You know, if you kind of get stuck with a drive-through or a stop and go in the race for speeding in the pit lane, you really don't have a whole lot of options. You have to take it, so that will completely demoralize your race.
Yeah. So there we go. Seems like Carlos Martin is going through the final corner now. And then we'll start a 34 lap long race.
Yeah, it definitely should be an interesting one, especially how they're so close together. So I'm looking forward to this race.
Crown 7 front row. Hopefully both drivers make it out turn 1 unscathed with Precision Motorsports 3 and Twister 4 and 5 at the Shanghai Grand Prix.
We're just waiting for the final cars to get into the grid slots, and it seems like Joel Tyen, he's the final car there, as Luca Desi indeed is going to the end of the pit lane now. So it seems like all cars are ready. Here we go. We have 2 lights, we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're off now. So let's see who has a pretty good start. It seems like Carlos Martin is off the line pretty well, and it looks like Alvaro Torres is still in second. Yes, he's still in second. So the drivers are going through the first corner. Let's pray for a clean start here.
So far, so good.
And someone's lost the rear wing.
There is some collisions down there and out the field. I see Simon is got no rear wing. He's out. Conti up the inside of Toman, going into turn 5. Conti looks like he has it. Patel waiting right behind.
Beautiful move from Conti.
The drivers scream back up through this middle section now. This is where the cars will start to spread out just that little bit, although you can see Patel has Daniel Kiss all over the back of his gearbox. And there's not really any place to overtake here, and of course no DRS for the first 3 laps as the drivers come throughout the first lap. The 2 Crown 7 Netrex cars lead the field.
Very, very good start from the drivers here. Not a lot of contact. We have only lost Johnny Seaman, and that's really the only driver, I think, who really suffered from heavy damage. So very good job from the drivers there, because it's really tricky those first couple of corners. And straight away Carlos Martin is about a second up on his teammate Alvaro Torres as we approach corner 14. And let's see if we can spot any overtaking going on.
I see further down the field Danny Van Der Neet trying to go around the outside.
Mitchie Hoyer almost spun himself, and he did some kind of dive bomb that looked pretty aggressive, if you ask me. He came from very far, tried to dive bomb into corner 40, almost taking himself out, and the driver ahead of him as well. He almost spun. So first lap completed now.
And Van Der Neet did get by as Lamajan. He's into 17th position now. So as the drivers come back through the field, it'll be interesting to see what tyres everybody chose for the first stint, and we'll begin to see with the times.
Danny Van Der Neet must have had some kind of incident though, I think. I think he started from the 11th place, so something has gone on over there.
He's making his way back through the field pretty quick though. He's already onto the back of Johnson, so here we go into turn 5. He's going to have a quick look, but not quite. We'll check back on the front of the field and see what's going on as we see Tienan was very close to Valeriano coming out of 5, but he seems to have pulled out enough of a gap again to keep the position. Up front though, easy street, Netrex leading the way, and you can see the gap that they begin to pull out now on Marco Conti, who's starting to get a little bit of a train behind him. And of course we know that Precision will want to get by as soon as possible. You can see that gap beginning to open up between the front two and Conti in third.
Here we go then, drivers approaching corner 14. Let's see what the top speed is like as well. Conti is reaching about 370 kilometers an hour before he brakes. He seems to have a pretty decent top speed actually compared to the driver behind him, which is Thierry Toman. Thierry Toman had the advantage there with the slipstream, but couldn't really close down the gap.
Mohamed Patel is kind of struggling in this bit too. He runs a little bit wide out of the last turn, but he has the double slipstream. But again, like you said, Conti's straight line speed looks pretty good, and he's holding that position because of it. Patel is still over the back of Toman, so it's working out quite well, you have to say, for a few teams out there. Obviously, Netrex are the #1 team right now, but Twister as well have Toman sandwiched in between 3 of the Twister cars.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we have a very good battle between Danny Van der Niet and Mark Johnston. They have gone just side by side through the first couple of corners, and Danny Van der Niet takes position there. Very nicely done from Danny Van der Niet. He was on the inside for the first corner, beautiful move, but then Johnston cut back on him, and they are still battling a little bit. Johnston having a little bit of a look there, but Danny Van der Niet takes that position. Beautiful move by him actually. They were side by side through the first couple of corners, so well done to them.
And Celiento got by Diaz right behind them too. But yeah, Danny Van der Niet is the driver on the move, trying to claw his way back to the position where he probably should be, but he's got a bit of a gap in front of him. So we'll go back to the front of the field and see if there's any action.
Well, we see indeed that Crown 7 Netrex is making a gap to Conti, as you have said. There's a little bit of a train then until position 7 with Thomas Sadler. He has made up 1 position on the start. He started in 8th place. And then there's a little bit of a gap once again, 2 seconds to Norbert Liebner. He has a little bit of a train behind him with 3 cars, including himself. So the top 10 is currently separated by 9 seconds. As you see, Mitchie Hoyer, he spun into corner 14, trying to attack Norbert Liebner. And Martin Hodes actually made contact. I think Liebner, he's still going, but there's something wrong, I think, with Mitchie Hoyer.
Yeah. Looking at the lap times too, Torres did a 1:40.5 the last lap, but Conti actually did a 40.3. So Torres made a little bit of a mistake, and that's allowed the gap to close a little bit between the front two and Conti in third. So now he's beginning to find that pace again, and that consistency. 2 very consistent laps from Conti has kept him in that podium position.
As currently Johnny Seaman is actually still in this race. He just went out of the pits after he had to repair his car. Remember what happened to him. His engine is smoking, it's a bit overheating. Hopefully it will disappear once he completes the lap, because then the engine temperatures will cool down a little bit thanks to the cooling of the car with the air. So Conti is going through corner 13 and
Mundy spun. Mundy has spun. He was right behind, and he's in 12th, and now he's in 16th. He's still on the grass, trying to get back going again, and looks like he's going to be right down the back end of the field. Thomas Mundy was having a good drive, but he's dropped way back in the field, and yes, he's behind the battling as Lamajan and Desi. So a nightmare situation for Thomas Mundy.
Yeah, nightmare, never good when that happens, obviously.
Not the first few laps too, because of course you lose more positions when it happens, when everybody's more bunched up. This should be an interesting fight though, as Lamajan, Desi and Johnson going into the hairpin.
Valeriano managed to pass Jeroen Thailand into corner 14. They are pretty close as well.
Oh, 3 wide! As Lamajan looks like he's gonna hit this contact. Oh, and Mundy gets them both. That was beautifully done by Mundy. Almost went 3 wide into that last hairpin. And Mundy somehow gained some position, so I suppose that's a little bit of recovery for him. And here we go again, a fight into turn 1. There's a lot of action going on in the back of the field as Lamajan's going to try and go back by. Desi's looking. Mundy's going to try and hold it round the outside. It's off the rubber. Still trying to hold it. And will they try 3 again, Desi? No, it looks like they've all made it through. So that is how they're running at the back of the field.
I thought Desi would get the undercut, but it's not that effective. He's right now under threat as well from Johnston, who is trying to pick up a place. He's on the inside. It's too far back though, I think. Oh, Daisy braked himself slightly, and Johnston almost made contact now with Daisy. That was pretty close between the drivers.
And all of these guys fighting for positions way down the field has allowed Alex Diaz to open up a big gap. He's 5 seconds behind Diaz now, so yeah, he fights him for 18th place, but these guys need to sort it out pretty quick and get some times going on, otherwise they're going to find themselves way down the field, already 32 seconds behind the leader.
That's Marco Conti. Marco Conti, yeah, go on, James. Marco Conti managed to get past Alvaro Torres for second position into turn 14. Pretty straightforward move down the inside. Now, look at this.
Here we go. This could be dangerous. You see, smart driving from all of them because he can easily throw a dive up into turn 1. It can easily not work. Conti into second position. We're so busy looking at the action further down the field. And like we said, Torres had a good first lap, but then his time started to drop off a bit. And Conti's really starting to get his tail up now and trying to chase down the leader.
As Tyan is off. He was in 13th place, and he made actually contact with Valeriano in the final corner. We might get a replay of that if that's possible. Tyan was on the inside of Valeriano, but they made a bit of contact, and Tyan then spun in the final corner.
So all of these guys will start to get a bit of wash through this fast part of the track. You see Toman right behind Torres. So will Torres come under attack again from Yuri Toman? That's the question going into the second DRS zone. As you see, they all closed up, but Conti's going to have 4 guys right behind him. They're all going to have his DRS, and Conti's not going to have any of it. So this, again, should be pretty interesting as they spread out a little bit. And I think Patel's in a pretty good position too, but Toman will be okay because he gets the DRS. So here we go. Will anybody be close enough? It doesn't look like it. Torres too far back. Now the question really becomes, can Twister close up on the leader NetRex and see whether Conti can close up to take the lead of this race? Carlos Martins controlled it so far beautifully. He's 3.3 seconds ahead. And we'll have to see this next lap now that Conti has got some clear air, what the difference in the times is.
I think Conti is doing a very good job so far though. He seems to have a pretty decent pace. Let's see the lap times now as they cross the line. The gap was 3.3 before. Oh, it is now 3.3, I should say. It's now 3.3. Actually, Conti was slightly faster than Martin on the last lap, only by a tenth or so. And once again, Conti is 1.5 tenths up in the first sector on Carlos Martin. So he is closing down slightly so far.
Yeah, because that's pretty impressive, because Marco Conti was distracted going into turn 1, had that 3 cars behind him the entire lap last lap, and he still managed to gain in a little bit of time on Martin. So yeah, he should start to close in on him. We'll see if the sector times come up, but no, not a good sector 2 for Conti, so Martin's responded there, trying to keep his gap.
So we go, Alvaro Torres will have DRS probably. Yes, there goes the flap open. And let's see. Seems like Conti is a little bit swerving to the inside, trying to keep Torres out of his slipstream. Torres brakes very late for corner 14.
That's always one of those rules, isn't it? Where like they say one move on the straight, but when you're trying to break the driver's slipstream, there are some guys that manage to bend that rule a little bit, and just try and wiggle that tiny little bit, give them the old shake and bake, and try and get rid of that. Especially on this long straight here, I mean, you lose a lot of time if you have the guy behind you in the slipstream. So it's definitely worth trying to bend the rules a little bit. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it, so long as when a driver gets within 2 or 3 car lengths behind, then you have to make a decision of which way you're going.
Yeah, I agree. So we further down the field, we have 14th place. Marconi is on the threat from Saliendo. They have been battling slightly, not too much though. Saliendo currently cannot really get past with use of the DRS.
So we thought that Conti would start to catch up on the leader, but actually Torres is now coming back at Conti, and he got pretty close to him into the turn 5, and he's managed to keep pretty close to him through this section as well. So we'll see whether Torres can actually strike back and get that net Rex 1-2 back as he goes very late on the brakes into the second to last corner before this long straight. And then you got this long, forever looping cambered corner. And you can see Toman behind fighting the car, trying to keep it behind. So will Torres be close enough for a move this lap? I don't think he will be. He's closer than he's ever been.
I don't think he is currently. No, he's not.
He's very good on the brakes though. He closes right in. He gets a little bit of a lock up on that inside wheel.
We have lost Mark Johnston during this race, it seems like it.
It's a shame. He was having a good run. And one thing that's really interesting out there is that Martin right now is not pulling away from these guys. They're actually closing in on him. So I don't know whether Martin is saving the tyres a little bit possibly, or just kind of biding his time out there right now. We've seen he has the pace to respond. I'm just interested to see how much race controlling he's actually doing right now. We've seen some changes in the field. I believe that Valeriano is off the track, yes. Valeriano is actually off the track. He's in 15th now, and he's coming into the pits. So he was battling down there and for like 11th position, and now he's in the pits. Marconi's in as well.
Yep, we have 2 drivers into the pits now. I will have a look at the lap times previously. Marco Condi against trying to catch Martin. I think Martin made a slight mistake. He did a 141.2 last time around, and Marco Condi did a high 40, 40.9. So he managed to sneak up a little bit more of the gap he currently has. He managed to close him down by 3/10 during the last lap. And this lap, not bad at all. Conti is again slightly faster during the first 2 sectors.
And I just looked back at Valeriano's incident. He actually just got a little bit sideways coming out of the hairpin twice, and I think he'd ruined the tires and just decided to come in and get a fresh set. You can do that very easily now. You can just flat spot the tires or change the temperature cycle in them and just ruin them instantly and have to come in and get a new set.
Here we go. Alex Diaz on the field for Monday as the car in ahead goes wide as Joel Tyen again going off the track. And look at this.
Here we go. This is going to be interesting, yeah, because Tyen's going very slow. Goes defensive. Monday trying the old Zonta trick. And up the inside, will he do it? He does! Go on this contact! He manages to get the car stopped, but Diaz has it, and then it doesn't quite work out for Monday. So he went for the spectacular, but not quite, and now he's looking to lose a position as Lamajan and Tien's off again, and somehow Monday holds this position.
Well, an amazing battle there.
That Monday car, I tell you, he keeps sliding and somehow holding some of these positions, but he's leaving himself very vulnerable if somebody brakes too late going side by side or getting hit on the side of that car. So there's Lamajan right behind him as these guys continue to fight. So they caught up Diaz pretty quickly, but there's a big empty space in front of Diaz.
Yeah, we've had Mohamed Paddle in the pits as well. Lap 9 and he went in. Lap 8 I think, yeah, lap 8.
And he's come out right behind Danny Van Der Neet. He should get a lovely slipstream here because he's got the new tyres on. He just has to be patient, not get caught up in any incidents here, but he's trying to use the undercut. And this might work out quite well for Patel if he can get by Danny Van Der Neet immediately on the straight, which should be easy peasy.
Yeah, the rest wide open.
So Patel up to 9th, and he has a little bit of clear air to use those fresh tyres too. Is that a little bit too early to stop though?
Well, Conti just went into the pits. He's in the pits now.
So he's trying that undercut too to try and hold on to second position. And you see Toman is right behind Torres. We'll see which one of the 2 Netrex cars is going to be the first to blink. Usually the driver in front has first dibs, based on F1 rules anyway, of when he wants to pit. So we'll see if he will want to pit next time round, or maybe Torres will, because of course they're going to have to split the lap that they're on because they're within 4 seconds, so they're not going to be able to stack them. So it was a difficult decision as a team boss, because if Tolman comes in this lap, he'll get the undercut and jump Torres unless he pits. But like we said, usually the driver in front gets first dibs.
I think Jerry Tolman is within the RS range. Yes, he is. Jerry Tolman picking up the RS, but it doesn't really look like the RS is that effective. He reaches 323 kilometers an hour, while Torres reaches 311. So there's quite a bit of a difference there, actually. And as you can see, Jerry Tolman indeed is quite close now to Alvaro Torres. Let's see if anyone goes into the pits. Yes, it is Carlos Martin.
Yeah. Oh, I was very surprised to not see Tolman make the pits here. He's going to try and pass into turn 1. He gets the DRS, so we'll see up the inside, round the outside. Torres goes defensive. This is going to be optimistic round the outside, off the rubbered line. I don't know if that will quite work, but I really thought they would bring in Tolman to try and jump Torres because he was not allowed to pit, because Martin decided to. Martin's going to come out in front of Conti, but not by much. You can see the undercut has really helped Marco Conti. He's right behind him, which begs to believe that later on in the race, you see Conti's easily going to hold on to his position in front of Torres if this continues with the undercut, but very interesting how much he's closed in there.
Someone to mention as well is Thomas Saverly. He's currently in 3rd position, doing a pretty good job. Obviously, he has to still make a pit stop. He's definitely not looking too bad. He's 7 seconds off the leader at the moment, Alvaro Torres. And I do expect that Alvaro Torres will pit this lap. I would be surprised if he doesn't.
Yeah, and I think that Tolman probably will too, unless he wants to try something different and stay out longer. Like you say, he's going to have that DRS again. The DRS is working, but the drivers are really struggling to keep hold of the cars coming around the second to last turn before the long straight. The long right-hander, you just kind of lose the rear end a little bit, and they're having to lift, so they're too far back to do anything about it. Will they come into the pits this lap? Neither of them pit. That's very interesting.
Wow. Yeah, that is, definitely. They will lose a lot of time now, but who knows what they are planning on doing later in this race.
Yeah, they'll lose a lot of time, because we saw Conti caught up almost 2 seconds in a lap. So, see Tolman right behind Torres. Torres looked like he's beginning to struggle on those tyres. A very interesting decision to split the strategies here for Netrex. This is going to help Martin, of course, because Tolman is getting held up behind Torres.
Meanwhile, further down, Thomas Mundy is on the thread from Aslamajan. And actually, he managed to get past down into turn 14 with use of DRS. And that means Thomas Mundy is back in 15th place, as Thomas Mundy goes straight into the pits now.
We need like a Mundy cam, because this guy's been in so much action, too much action the first 13 laps of this race. I think the team will be kind of getting a little fed up with him swapping positions, but that's what happens when you make an early mistake but you still have a fast car. You find yourselves fighting with guys further out in the field, because nobody gives you an easy position in FSR.
So really, the fight we're looking at currently is still Alvaro Torres and Jerry Tolman. They seem to be pretty close to each other.
Yeah, he's closer than he's ever been. Will he try something late on the brakes? I doubt it. It's too early in the race to try anything risky. You see Torres there just kind of blocking the inside line, just under braking. Just lent to the apex a little bit, and they both
There we
pit.
go, both in the pits, yeah, both.
Neither of them do a Hamilton, so we'll see whether they can get the car slowed down. It's a pit stop race. I expect them to maintain position, but where will they be in relation to Martin and Conti?
Oh, that's in the pits too?
Orange tyres going on for Tolman. And Torres actually gained a little bit of time in that pit stop, and they come out right behind Daniel Kiss though. This has worked great for Twister.
Yeah, pretty big gap there. This is a very big gap or difference in the undercut.
Well, he was about 4 seconds behind Carlos Martin was Torres, and now you're looking at about 6. So yeah, he lost almost over a second a lap. You lose staying out on those tires longer. But who knows what they're planning at the end of the race? That's where it gets interesting to see.
So meanwhile, Thomas Savelli is in the lead of this race. He yet has to pit though. And then we have Carlos Martin in second. He is obviously the leader. If Savelli pits, he will get back in first position. Meanwhile, Daniel Kiss on his tires is on the flat from Alvaro Torres. Alvaro Torres will have DRS here. He opens it up, see if he is close enough to overtake, and it does look like it. And here we go. Daniel Kiss defends the inside, but Alvaro Torres has the move already done before the corner. Has he? No, he has not actually. Daniel Kiss breaks very late. He is fighting for it, and look at that. Loads of oversteer on the exit there, but it seems like Alvaro Torres makes this move stick. Yes, he does indeed. And intense action there actually, as Savelli pits them from the lead.
So interesting how all the drivers took the hard tires. And Danny Van Der Neet is currently the highest soft runner out there, but I believe he's yet to stop after making that earlier mistake.
Seems like the closest battle once again on the track is Alvaro Torres and Jeroen Toman currently. Battle for 4th position now that everyone has pitted. Well, not everyone, but Savelli.
Yeah, and Van Der Neet is he's not stopped yet in P7, so he has the softer tires on. And not far behind him is Norbert Leitner for Faster Than Speed. He's running in P8 currently. And Norbert, he's just pitted, so he's come out, so he's having a pretty good race as well.
Tyen out of the race. Gonna have a look at the thing. What happened to him? Tyen just stopped his car, I think. Yeah, on the main straight, stopped his car, no smoke, no crash, just stopped his car. He's out of this race.
Too much damage, possibly?
Might be. Not sure.
Usually you'll stop the car in the pits in that circumstance though, so. Either way, he is no longer with us, which is a shame. So we are 15 laps in. Carlos Martin leads. Marco Conti is second. Mohamed Patel having a nice drive for Twister in third. Torres fourth, and there's some switching going on here at the field. Hodas and Van Der Neet. And we see that the reason is Danny Van Der Neet is finally pitted. So interesting circumstance here. All of the top 6 are on the prime. Leitner in 7th went for the option when he pitted. So we'll see what the time differences are currently between him and 6th place Daniel Kiss. Pretty big gap between them right now. As you see again, Toman right behind Torres. And Torres will probably get the DRS from Patel though, which will protect him. The understeer from Toman around that long right-hander. Torres did not get DRS, so Toman closes in once again. It definitely seems overtaking is not that easy to do though.
No, definitely not. Jeroen Toman does have quite a bit of a speed advantage, but every time he's just too far back as Thomas.
Here we go.
Quite a bit of oversteer on the exit, so this might be Toman's chance. As he goes down to the first corner, Torres defends the inside. Jeroen Toman has to go around the outside. Can he make it stick? Doesn't look like it.
duck up the inside. Will Torres run wide? He does. Can he just nip it up the inside? Oh, side by side. And Toman, they're going to touch.
Contact.
They touch. Oh, and that's a little bit naughty from Torres. He just gave him that nudge. I think that Toman had the position. Will Toman get frustrated? And you can see him weaving around, trying to feel if there is any damage. And he won't launch up the back of Torres. A good driving there from Toman, because the red mist sometimes can get a little bit heavy when you get touched like that. You see him again dancing around, trying to get a feel for the car.
I think he is just showing his anger to Torres. That might be as well the case. Not sure.
Yeah, possibly. Because he doesn't seem to be losing any time. You can see Toman just able to go tighter, and this is killing Toman's race. And I was very surprised that they didn't try and jump Torres in the pits, because he's been behind Torres now for a good, well, it's going to be pretty close behind him for a good 10-15 laps now. That was his chance though. It looked like he had it. Will there be any damage to Torres' car? That's the question. You can see the front of Torres' car actually hit the rear wheel of Toman.
I don't think there's that much damage. There was a slight bit of contact, definitely enough to get the car, the balance of Toman's car a little bit out of shape. It doesn't seem they are suffering so much, does it?
No, it doesn't look that way. It looks like they've recovered from it, but usually when the front of your wing hits the rear wheel of the car in front, that normally means that that was probably your fault for the accident. But whether it was stupendous driving or silly driving, Torres has held the position and somehow is holding on to the position from Toman, who again gets frustrated behind him for another lap. Precision car looks much better on the brakes though.
Yeah, it does.
Meanwhile, up front, 1.6 seconds is the difference between Martin and Conti. Since they stopped, Martin's times have been a 40.586 and then a 41.1 that last lap. And Conti, on the other hand, we've seen he's been pretty consistent throughout the day. He's had a 40.0. Then he had 6.895. So both of them lost time on that last lap. I'm not sure if they hit traffic or not, but time's pretty similar between the two.
Meanwhile, Saliento and Michi Hoyer have been battling a little bit. Michi Hoyer managed to get past Saliento down into turn 5.
Good pass. And looking at the tyres, we were saying that the furthest guy up the field on the option tyres was Norbert Leitner in 7th place. And you see the times, 40.4, a 40.0 and a 40.2. So he's much easily doing consistent low 40s. So the other guys can match those times, but it's an odd lap. And 40.4 again. So they look about half a second at this point. But of course, Leitner's probably not as fast as Carlos Martin is straight up, so the 1 second mark is probably reasonably accurate.
Very close racing once again between Thierry Joman and Torres. Thierry Joman was alongside him at the end of on the straight, but Alvaro Torres defended the inside there, and you can feel the frustration from Toman. He just doesn't really can get past, and last time he was almost past, but then obviously they made slight contact and his car was out of balance. But it does look like he has the upper hand. He just has to be close enough before the DRS zone.
Yeah, he definitely does look he has a faster car. Again, they'll want that pit stop back, I think, Precision. They'll want to bring him in just that lap sooner and get rid of Torres right now, because Toman looks a lot quicker. There is a 3-second gap opened up now between them and Mohamed Patel, who's lapping pretty good, you have to say. Patel is only a 1.5 seconds behind Conti. Did a 40.8 last lap.
Yeah, he's actually faster.
Yeah, he's lapping very good here, very good times. Mohamed Patel's having a very quiet race. Driver from Great Britain, and he's catching up the Italian Marco Conti and the Spaniard Carlos Martin, who leads this race and has led every single lap technically of the race. He's not led every lap.
Monday off.
Sorry to interrupt you. Again.
Mandy spun himself while he was battling with Chris de Jong. I'm having a look at the replay now. Chris de Jong was on the inside for turn 7, I think that is. Oh, and Chris de Jong, I think he must have turned in maybe on him.
He's done. De Jong is out.
De Jong is out, yeah. Whoa, interesting there.
Suspension damage for Chris de Jong, so he is out of the race, and Mundy again getting caught up in one of these incidents. We need Mundy Cam constantly in the corner. I gotta buy myself another monitor to have one just for him by the looks of things on this race.
It's hard to say who was really wrong there. I think Mundy was alongside him quite a bit, but I don't know if it was far enough. Chris de Jong just turned in like he would do normally, but then there was Thomas Mundy there on the inside. They make contact, and that's race done for Chris de Jong.
That's a shame. I always like watching Chris de Jong. He's one of my favorite drivers. He always does things a little bit out of the ordinary, the tire strategy, and makes some great overtakes. So it's a shame to have him out of the race, but he's not the only one out of the race currently. As we see, Johnny Seaman looks like he is still running. Somehow he got that rear wing fix. He's 2 laps down. So it is only Teenan and Valeriano and Mark Johnson, along with Chris de Jong, out of this race.
So there we go. Alvaro still in 4th position. I think he's opening up the gap just slightly to Toman. Seems like he has quite a bit of breathing space, but then again, the DRS will come open soon for Jerry Toman.
Yep, he did have it.
Yeah, he had it.
Just see that letterbox opening up on the back of the rear wing. But, I mean, at this point, what do you do you have to think strategy at this point. Otherwise, you are going to only end up racing Torres for 4. I think Tolman should either be trying to save some tyres or trying to use those tyres to get it past them. As we see some more action going throughout the field. Celiento is into the pits.
Yeah,
so that must be his 2nd stop. In fact, actually, no, I believe that was his 1st stop.
It was, yes.
Wow. So he went a long way on those tyres.
Meanwhile, we have Conti. The gap between him and the leader, Carlos Martin, is just 1.2 seconds. So Conti has managed to close him down another 3/10 during the last lap, and it seems like he's once again pretty quick. But he's not close enough though to have the DRS just yet. But I presume that once he gets within 1 second, his DRS will come open, and that will definitely be another advantage for him in order to close Carlos Martin down. So it looks like we have a very, very interesting race here, still with 14 laps to go. Thierry Toman once again is quite a bit behind Torres. Too far back at the moment though.
And don't count out my man Mohammed Patel in 3rd place, just kind of sat there watching. The best thing for him right now is Conti. Looks like he's coming to the pits.
Yeah, Conti in the pits. Meanwhile, Liedner and Daniel Kiss are battling. Liedner will have the DRS on Daniel Kiss. Is he close enough? It does look like he's pretty close, having a little look. No, he's not close enough. He doesn't have the top speed just yet to overtake him there. Down into the 1st corner, and Conti has just finished his pit stop.
Yeah, he comes out on the soft tyres. Will he come out in traffic? Will he get a chance to post a fast time in clear air? It looks like he's beautifully come out in clear air here, so Conti could jump the lead of this race on the option tyre compared to the prime. Brand new set of options for Conti. This has to be the best lap of his race to take the lead. Yeah,
I'll have a look at his sector times during this lap. As it looks like Valeriano has a pen. Oh no, never mind. No, never mind. Valeriano is out of this race actually.
Yeah, I saw somebody off the track as Conti went by. I'm not sure who that was. We'll look up on timing and scoring to see who it was. No one's seems definitely out of position right now to me, but anyway, concentrating back on the front. Carlos Martin for Crown 7 Netrich. You have to bring him in now.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's losing too much time now, yeah.
This is the easiest decision ever, but even so, it might be a lap too late.
Well, he just did a 30.5 in the middle sector. Conti is going to cross the 2nd sector just now. I'll have a look. Oh, he does it 29.5, 1 second quicker in the 2nd sector. He must have him now, I think. So what
even
does
if
Martin
they
do?
pit, and Martin doesn't pit.
He doesn't pit.
Mohammed Patel pits, so that's going to give 2nd place to Mohammed Patel. So Precision must really, oh, sorry, not Precision, Netrex must really be counting on those tires going off at the end of the race.
This is very interesting here. Daniel is in the pits as well.
I don't think you can go to the end on these tires, surely not. Unless, I mean, we said that Martin looked kind of in control, unless he's been controlling these tires right from the start of this race, but I thought he would have gone longer in the first stint.
It's definitely going to be a difficult task in order to make these tires work till the end. He has still 12 laps to go, which seems really long if you ask me, even for the hard compound.
They all started on the option, I believe, from qualifying.
Yeah.
Which means that they all have used both tyres at this point, so legally he would be allowed to do it, but it's a very optimistic task. It's interesting, Netrex playing this very cool.
Yeah, indeed.
They didn't bring in Martin, and that also means that they can't bring in Torres this lap either.
Have a look at Toman. He seems pretty close now to Torres. He picks up quite a bit of understeer though every time in corner 13, which makes him lose quite a bit of time to Torres. Obviously, Torres will come open now. Let's have a look.
If Carlos Martin pits this lap, Toman also needs to pit, because that means that Torres cannot, and Toman can jump past him in the stops and finally get some clear air.
Yeah, good point.
We'll see. If Martin, no, he does not pit. So
he doesn't pit, no.
And neither does Torres, so Toman does not need to. Yeah, exactly. I would base it off as soon as Martin pits is when I would pit Toman.
So let's have a look. Carlos Martin did a 141.2 last lap. Let's see what Conti is doing.
Well, he's been stuck in traffic too. He had to get by Hodas. Patels now has to get by Hodas.
Conti did a 39.0 last lap. Incredible stuff there. He is 2.2 seconds faster than Carlos Martin over one single lap right now. He has fresh tires, and as you said, he was in a bit of traffic as well.
And he still is. He's coming up behind Sadler. He's having a very quiet drive in 4th place. For Ghost Speed, he's waiting for something to happen, Thomas Sadler.
Alex Diaz gets the blue flag.
And we look back at Toman and continue to see the back of that Netrex car. Luckily, if any bolts are starting to come loose on that car, Toman will be able to see each spin of the thread as he's stared at the back of that car for so long now. Will Martin pit this lap?
Jeroen too far back once again. You can feel his frustration, and it does look like, as we have said, that one chance he had was his only chance.
Martin does not pit again.
No, doesn't pit.
Neither of them do. Toman stays out once again. So they really, are they going to the end of this race? Surely at this point, you start to wonder though, Conti's tyres, the soft tyres, will they be able to last, what is it, they need to go to 14 laps on the soft tyres. Does that seem reasonable?
If he managed to really make them work, yeah, but if he's pushing, then I don't think it really is going to work. And last time around he did another 139.1, which is a pretty decent lap, another 2 seconds quicker. As Patel currently does the fast lap of the race, 138.6, and he moves up to P6 now.
And Conti. Sorry, Conti right behind Sadler now. Sadler, don't know if he'll defend him too hard. Conti didn't go for the move up the inside there.
No, he's
very
still
hesitant. Obviously different strategies going on here, so we don't want a collision between these two drivers, but Conti seems very hesitant to launch one up the inside. I think he knows that he has the lead of this race currently, if the guys in front do pit. If they don't pit, he would have to catch up a lot of time. 15 seconds.
He's having a look, still too far back, but surely he will pass him with the DRS if he can make corner 13 work well.
Surprising it took that long.
Yeah.
Will Martin pit this lap?
Let's have a look.
Start to run out of laps if you don't. Again,
No,
he does
doesn't.
not.
No, he's going for a one stop then. Surely he is going for a one stop now.
He has to have been managing the tires right from the start, and maybe Torres was as well. Very
Conti managed to
interesting
get past.
strategies.
Conti got past with use of DRS down the inside for the corner 14.
Again, I have to question Precision Motorsport's decision in the first round of pit stops to not try and jump Torres, knowing that they were going to go and do the one stop. Because now he has to find a way round Torres, and Torres is a perfect rear guard for Martin if they don't pit. So we'll see. Conti's still 15.7 seconds behind, and his tyres, we said 14 laps, might be optimistic for the softs.
Yeah, we have said that, but I think we don't expect that the one stop was really, you know, that popular with the choice. I mean, top 3 is on the one stop currently, and so they have to do a lot of laps on the hard tire. So who knows? Maybe on the soft tire it's possible as well. Although there's obviously quite a bit of a difference between the two compounds, soft and hard.
It looks like wear is pretty good throughout the field, though. We've seen some guys go quite a long time, so the track is in pretty good condition. Conti's times.
Mohamed Paul managed to get past Thomas Sevely, and Sevely spun. Sevely is in the wall.
Oh, such a great drive he was having too.
He rejoins in front of Daniel Kiss, but Daniel Kiss straight away got past, and I don't think Thomas Sevely will have DRS, will he? I'm not sure. I think he was still in front of Daniel Kiss when they got through the detection line, and yes, indeed, he doesn't have DRS, so no way he's going to get that place back now. So he's under pressure straight away from Alex Diaz, I think that is. Yeah, behind him. But Sevely, unfortunately for him, he spun on the exit there. Mohamed Pella was on the inside there, so he was off the ideal racing line. Not a lot of grip there. Maybe too early on the throttle because of that, and then he spun.
Conti just ripped time out of the top 3 that last lap. He caught up over 2 seconds in one lap. Doing 39.1s is Conti. The leaders have to be in the 41s. And you see Carlos Martin's last lap time was a 42.0. That was not going to be enough.
Yeah, he made a mistake because Alvaro Torres was 1.2 seconds quicker than him as well over the course of last lap. The difference between them now is only 3 seconds. And the difference between Martin and Conti is 12 seconds here. But don't count out Mohamed Patel. He's doing a very, very good couple of laps as well. Although his pace has dropped quite a bit now. He did a 39.5 last lap. So Conti is as well very, very consistent on those soft tires at the moment. But let's see if he can manage to do that throughout his whole stint. You know, that's a difficult task for him.
So we have Crown 7 going for what looks like to be a long one stop with both of their cars. They have a rear gunner in Torres. You have Tolman playing it very safe in 3rd place Precision, unusually safe. Marco Conti and Mohamed Patel Twister going aggressive and trying to do an extra stop and pass on the track. So this is going to be a thrilling end to the race. We have only 7 laps remaining. Conti took another almost a second out of the leaders, but that's not going to be enough.
Daniel Kiss passing Martin Hodes for 6th place. So Daniel Kiss is running 6th place. He did that with use of DRS down on the inside of corner 14. And the gap is now 2.5 seconds between Torres and Martin. So Alvaro Torres, once again, he was half a second quicker than Martin. So what is Martin doing? Is he just saving his tires a little bit more, or are his tires going on the cliff, off the cliff, something like that?
Look at this consistency from Marco Conti, though. He had one lap where he hit traffic. I think that was the southerly lap. But he had a 39.176, a 39.186, and a 39.173. All within 0.02 of a second of each other. Very consistent driving going on from the Italian.
Very impressive, yes. And the gap between him and Thoman is 7.2 seconds. So remember, as Alvaro Torres locks up quite a bit, remember that Conti has to pass Torres and Thoman as well before he gets onto the back of Carlos Martin. Actually, Conti was 0.6 faster during the first sector on this lap already, and he is 0.8 fast now on sector 2, so he's already about 1.5 seconds quicker than Carlos Martin over the course of this lap only.
Conti will catch up Martin. If Conti was in second right now and Martin was in first, then he could catch up 9 seconds. But like you said, he has to pass Toman and Torres and catch Martin. That seems a lot.
Yeah, he's running out of time as well. A couple of laps to go, 7 laps.
We didn't think the one stop would be this popular, but the 3 leaders going for that strategy shows what we know, right?
Yeah, but it does look like it's working for them though. I mean, yes, Conti is quick, but he is 8 seconds behind now with 6 laps to go. Once again, he's so quick in that first sector on those tires. He's on the charge, definitely.
7.7 the gap. We'll run down the order really fast. It goes Martin to Torres, the Crown 7 Netrex team 1 and 2, Toman, Conti Patel, Daniel Kiss 6, Hodas 7, Sadler now down to 8th after the mistake, Michi Hoyer in 9th, Danny van der Neet's clawed his way back to 10th, Leitner is 11th, and Celiento 12th, Aslamajan, Mundi, Diaz, Marconi, Desi, Simon, all still running up to 18. Christian, Tienan, Valeriano, and Mark Johnson are all out of the race.
Torres made a slight mistake, or I think he had a slight lock-up coming into corner 11. And that means that Toman was very close behind him, but then Toman, once again, he's going on the inside though. Toman on the inside.
Very polite driving. Oh,
contact.
Touch. Oh, and somehow recovers the car, but very polite driving from Torres. He gave him room on the inside.
And look at Conti now.
I expected him to come back, but Conti is now going to get past Toman. That's pretty much sealed. How much can Torres hold up Conti is going to be the question.
It seems like Toman came from a very, very long way back. And plenty of room given there, but not enough.
I was very surprised the amount of room given, because like you said, he came from a long way back.
Yeah, he did.
I guess Torres believed that he had the inside for the next corner, but that would have put him out of position going into 1, so it was a little surprising. The collision was almost caused by the generosity.
Yeah, as I said, we saw that Torres had made a slight mistake, so maybe he thought, well, this is my chance and I won't get any closer than this, you know?
Yeah, it was good driving. It just, the contact was just a little bit too much. A nice save though from Toman to stop himself from going in the wall. I'm watching Patel. Patel is not far behind Conti either, who now closes right on the back. Toman closed up to Torres already.
This is going to be an interesting battle now. Conti and Toman will have the yours. I don't know how about Patel. It seems like he's too far back at the moment.
Toman will get by here. Toman will get by here. He's so much better on the brakes. He's finally got close enough to have a go, but will Conti stand a chance at maybe getting on the exit? Toman needs to brake late going into the hairpin. And no good straight line speed.
Conti and contact between Conti and Toman.
Oh, they're still touching the side by side. Conti can't get by. He can't get by. He's
Battle
stuck.
goes through. Battle goes through.
Oh, and somehow Toman maintains the position. He placed the roadblock on Conti, and Conti's got a pit. And
Conti's
what a
in pits.
nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare for him. And we have to look at the replay there for sure.
Wow, what a nightmare for Conti. It was great blocking driving from Toman once the contact had been made. He just had his car parked in front of him, but it was just terrible luck for him at the end of it. But whose fault was this?
I think Conti came from so far back. Yes, of course, he has the fresher tires. I think he was very comfortable.
And he locked the wheel too, and you see he turned to the outside.
Wheel.
Yeah, he turned to the outside to correct it. That was all Conti's fault, unfortunately. But it comes down to the fact that Toman couldn't make a move on Torres, so he left himself vulnerable in the middle. Conti, though, will take blame, I'm sure, for that one. It's a shame. We were looking forward to a great end to this race. Carlos Martin fans out there must be delighted.
Well, it's not over yet. We do have a couple of laps to go.
Where's Patel now?
Yeah, where's Patel? Patel is in third position. And look at this. Going on to turn 14 is already on the inside of Alvaro Torres. And yes, he makes the move stick, so he is in second now. He's the man to look out for now, as he has only 3 laps to go to close that gap to Carlos Martin. But we know that he's on a fresh set of tires.
Very surprising to see Torres just let Patel have the inside. The worst rear gunner I've ever seen in my life. I'm very surprised because that releases Patel to attack Martin now. I would have thought that Torres would have put up more of a fight on Patel.
This will be very interesting. I'll have a look at the sector times currently.
And I don't think Martin will be buying Torres any extra dessert and dinner today.
Patel is 4 tenths quicker in the first sector already.
The gap. Netrex would lose this. They could lose this race.
Yeah, definitely. It all depends as well on this middle sector and if he can keep his tires light, but the gap visually is already getting closer, doesn't it?
And that, of course, gives you motivation if you are Mohammed Patel, MP on the charge.
Purple sector 2, he's gone fastest in the second sector, half a second up on Carlos Martin in just one sector. Interesting, very interesting here.
Wow, they have left themselves completely vulnerable to the attack of Mohammed Patel, and you have to feel that had Conti not got caught up in the accident, he would be even closer to Martin now than Patel is. Oh wow, this is going to be really difficult for Martin to hold on to this win.
He runs wide, he has some pressure, definitely. The pressure is on for him.
Mohammed Patel, a 39.8. Those tyres are not the freshest anymore. He's not got brand new options on by any means. But look at the gap. You can see the back of Martin. Two laps to go.
He's 2 seconds quicker a lap. Gap is 1.7 seconds. He should be close enough, definitely. But the point is as well, he has to overtake him as well. And we can see a very, very good battle here.
Wow, and there's another good fight going on further down the field. We've got Conti in 8th and Hoyer, so Conti's still in 8th position. That's where he's going to finish. But it's all about the front 2 now from the end of this Shanghai Grand Prix in the 8th series.
Patel 2 tenths quicker in the first sector. And now he is 1.5 seconds back, but
he's not going to get the DRS.
No, not at this stage, no. Doesn't look like it.
And yeah, maybe lost a little bit of downforce. Now he's closed up to the back of Martin. He still has 1 full lap, and the overtaking spot for this track is at the end of the lap. So he will get a full lap from now to make the pass work. It's not like Catalonia at Spain where basically you have to make the pass on the second to last lap, because there is no more overtaking opportunities really. Here though, look, the gap is visual. Twister versus Netrex.
Oh, this will be intense. I think they are within 1 second. Definitely.
Yeah.
Will Patel get the DRS already then?
Oh! Mistake from Martin, and he's left himself vulnerable under the DRS. 1 lap to go. Mohammed Patel for Twister Racing all over the back of Netrex, and look at the difference in the grip.
He's gonna get him surely. Carlos Martin has to defend very, very well here. And I don't think he really has a chance when Mohammed Patel gets DRS, but will he already overtake him even before DRS? I doubt it, honestly. He just has to be patient now and wait for his chance. I think already he's having a look there.
Yeah, I think patience for the DRS zone might pay off here. But Martin again struggling on exit, and you see, going defensive.
They almost entered corner 6 and 7 side by side.
Oh, Patel really backed out though. There is such a thing of being too cautious here. And he has to stay close through this section. You almost have to try and pass every turn to stay close enough. Martin is driving nicely. Oh, Patel runs wide, but he's still going to be really with enough room to attack. Patel, goes deep. That's not when you want to go deep. The corner before you're trying to get the run.
Yeah, that's not good. He's quite way back now as well. He will have DRS, but is he close enough now? Here we go. He will open up the DRS just about now. There goes the flap. Is he too far back though?
I think he's going to be too far back. That was a big mistake. Martin will have to go defensive surely. He knows Patel's coming. He knows Patel's coming. And he doesn't go defensive. And Patel side by side. And they still side by side coming out. Martin's in the wall. He's in the wall. Patel's going to take the win. Martin did not defend.
Martin has lost his rear wing as well. He's going to cross the line without a rear wing. He almost spun it on the final corner, but here we go. Mohamed Patel wins the race. What an intense ending to this race.
Oh, what a race. What a race we've seen there. Martin is going to somehow come through in second. Just the positions look like Patel just made a nice clean pass, but oh wow, there's going to be a lot of after race speculation on this one. I'm still confused as to why Martin didn't defend. He defended so brilliantly the rest of the lap, but he left the door open at the hairpin, the last overtaking spot.
I think he thought that Patel was too far back, and to be honest, Patel had a huge lockup as well coming into the corner 14, and they already made contact as well just before the corner. It does look like Martin turned in slightly on him, but to be honest, Patel came from quite a long distance, and Patel or Martin just clinched the wheel of Patel, and he got in the wall.
It's a very tough one. It's almost a racing incident because Patel, like you said, he came from a long way back, but he actually got the car stopped. I don't know how Patel managed to get the car stopped coming from that far back. He locked the tires up, but he actually got the car stopped pretty good. He not like he nerfed into the side of him. There was enough room there. Oh, wow. Oh, somehow Mohamed Patel has won this race.
Intense, very intense. We already predicted it with the tire strategy, stuff like that. It's a shame that Condi though was out, as Condi finished in 8th position in the end. So why don't you take us through the order? What are the results here?
Mohamed Patel, the results currently, without any investigations. Mohamed Patel for Twister Racing Ace takes the win at Shanghai at a time of 57 minutes 44 seconds. Carlos Martin brings home a rear wingless Crown 7 Netrex in second. Daniel Kiss gets the podium. He just stayed out of everybody's way and got a double podium for Twister. Alvaro Torres 4th place for Crown 7 Netrex. Jeroen is 5th for Precision. A very quiet race for him, only P5. Martin Hodas P6. Sadler was 7th for Ghost Speed. A good drive. Conti recovers to 8th for Twister, who again have their 3rd car in the top 10. Michi Hoyer is 9th. Danny Vanderney is 10th. And then outside the top 10, Celiento, Norbert Leitner down a little bit further than we expected, as Lamajam 13th. Thomas Mundy, an eventful day, 14th. 15th, Alex Diaz. 16th, Marconi. Johnny Simon ends in 17th. Luca Desi, 18th.
Ooh, what a race. What an absolute cracker that was.
Wow. And there's a lot of talk going on. I can tell you after race, post-race talk going on here.
Definitely, yeah.
It's going to be very interesting to see what the result is for the first race there. Wow. I don't even know if I can recover. I think we need like some quiet time to recover from that. I mean, the last 2 corners is when that race was decided.
Definitely, yeah.
Let me ask you this then, Jeroen, do you think that the one-stop strategy was the best idea?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yes.
You think, okay, because it looked like it was working, and Martin just made that one mistake on the last corner of the second to last lap, which really closed in Patel. And we know Patel's going to go for a move every time, but I honestly, I don't know which strategy is the best. I think you have to be aggressive on either one. Martin played it a little too safe and somehow got caught. Patel had a lot of luck going his way. But, you know, if you're too aggressive like Conti, then you get caught too. So, a very tough one.
Meanwhile, we do have to prepare for the next race, which will be a 30% long one, which means 17 laps. Just a little sprint race. It will be interesting to see as well if people are going with the hard tire and just do no stops at all, because you don't have to use both compounds, or people are going on the soft and do soft twice, or maybe go 17 laps on the soft. You never know. But meanwhile, I think I'm going to have a break here, and I want to thank everybody who has been watching the stream so far. We've had an interesting race, and also to mention the top 8 will be reversed for next race. Top 8 of the results currently from that first race. So I'm gonna take a break. Alright, so I'm back. I believe Matt is here as well again.
I am here.
What an intense race that was.
Yeah, I said I'm here, but I'm not recovered yet.
Same.
Wow. Okay, so now Conti starts on pole. Just a shout out to very clever driving from Conti after getting caught up in that accident to maintain 8th position to ensure he starts on pole. Damage recovery.
Definitely, yeah. Do you think that means as well he's the favorite straight away for the next race?
Yep. Pretty simple, really. I believe, unless somebody makes a really good start. We saw the pace that Conti had. Arguably, he was the fastest person in race 1 anyway. So I definitely believe that Conti has to be the favorite. Yes, as zeros click on the warm-up. Notable mentions in the championship. Obviously, Tolman playing it very safe because he is still in the lead of the championship. But he lost some points to Mohammed Patel there, and it might be a little bit early in the season to be playing it so safe. So we'll see whether he can manage to not even make a pass, but see if he can be ahead of Torres coming out the first few turns.
We will see. I definitely do hope that the start will be clean again, just like we have seen the first race. That was pretty good. Yes, there was some contact. I think it was Johnny Seaman who we lost. Well, not really lost because he managed to get back to the pits, but he did have a big impact there, quite some damage.
Yeah, and we see that Tolman is going to be ahead of Torres, Kiss, Martin, Patel. So Tolman's in a good position as well. Sadler and Hodes. Hodes, we know he's got a very, very quick car. So it'll be very interesting to see whether any of them can make a move as we get off on the formation lap. So we'll run down the start order, Jeroen, if you want to take the top 10 for the start of race number 2 here at Shanghai.
So we have Marco Conley in first place then for the Twister, and Thomas Severly in second place with Go Speed Racing. We have seen he was quite consistent, but then he made a mistake. In third position we have Martin Hodes, and in the fourth position Thierry Tolman, both driving for Precision Motorsports. Alvaro Torres is in fifth in the Crown 7 Netrex, Daniel Kiss in sixth, and then we have Carlos Martin in seventh. Next up is Patel in 8th. He will start in 8th because he won last race. Remember, the top 8 is reversed. Then we have Mitchie Hoyer in 9th, and Danny van der Niet rounding up the top 10 in the Crown 7 Netrex car.
Gennaro Celiento will start 11th. Norbert Leitner in 12th. As Lamajan 13th. Thomas Mundy will hopefully have a less adventurous race in race number 2 for Faster Than Speed in 14th. Alex Diaz is P15 for Biocross Positive Sim Racing. Giuseppe Marconi 16th. Johnny Seaman will be hoping to make it through the first lap. And Christy Young is 19th with Valeriano. And these two guys getting a chance, a second chance, at trying to make the finish here. Like you said, only 17 laps, 30% race distance, the second one. This one should be very interesting as well. To see whether Precision can really, make a name for themselves in race number 2. They had a very quiet race number 1. Daniel Kiss made a great pass that we missed in all that excitement to steal third place with a fantastic drive for Twister. So he'll definitely be happy with that one, and we'll see whether he can do it again second time round. Just a quick shout out to FSR, whoever's idea this was, to do a 2-race format and reverse the top 8. Fantastic. I love it. I think it provides us with a second shot of action. My voice will not like it, as I'm sure I'll be shouting once again. But we'll line up on the grid for race number 2.
So we're just waiting for Valeriano in last place to get his grid slot. And why don't you take us through the start? So here we go.
All the drivers lining up ready for the light sequence. Conti first. There we see 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and green for race number 2 at Shanghai. Sadler looks like Hodas has made a good start, and Conti is going to be still in first place around the outside for turn 1. And looks like Tolman looking up the inside, he gets by. He's into 3rd place now. Sadler in 2nd place. Has everybody made it round? Oh,
no, Saliento and Chris de Jong made contact. I think Saliento went off track and then just suddenly Chris de Jong was in his way there.
Wow, so we didn't get quite the clean start that we were hoping for. But again, quite a lot of drivers making it through. I'm looking at Islamajan down the field, attacking. And we go back through the order as they come through this section. Marco Conti leads the race. Sadler 2nd. Tolman. Daniel Kiss 4th. He's made a good start to 4th. Hodas 5th. 6th place we have Mohamed Patel. He's made a good start as well. Michi Hoyer 7th. Good start. Torres with a bad start down to 8th. Both net wrecks. Carlos Martin 10th. And Torres is 8th. So they have not made a good start. Then you have Islamajan, Danny Bandini, Thomas Mundy, Varidiano, Johnny Simon, Alex Diaz, Giuseppe Marconi, and Chris de Jong and Saliento are both out of the race. Back up to the front then. Both Netrix have a bad start.
Yeah, they indeed had. It is Conti who is then leading, and he's putting away.
Torres, sorry, up the inside, trying to make a place back. He's got the place on Michi Hoyer. He'll have wanted to get by Hoyer pretty quickly. Hoyer, though, outbreaks himself. He gets on the grass, slides. Oh, he somehow keeps it, but then he makes contact with Martin. Oh, Martin's last places as Lamajan is now right behind him, but it looks like Martin's kept it behind Hoyer. So
someone spun. Final
Hoyer
corner.
just got on the grass. Sorry, who was it who spawned? Oh,
Norbert
it's Leitner.
Spun, yeah.
More eventful lap 1 this race than the first race.
Yeah, definitely. We have 2 drivers out, as you've mentioned already.
And Mohamed Patel is right on the back of Hodas. And you see, Tolman made a good start. Sadler's keeping up with Conti pretty nicely. We saw Sadler had some good pace in round 1, and Daniel Kiss is right there as well. So the big movers, big losers were Netrex, as Torres is trying to find himself back up the field, and Carlos Martin got caught up in an incident too. There's Lamajan all over the back of Carlos Martin. It's a little surprising. Back up through the field then, we have, going onto the straight, Sadler is in 2nd, Tolman is right there behind Sadler, and Conti's not pulling away like they would probably wanted him to. So it looks like on the tyres, everybody is going with the options. There is Mohamed Patel is gone with the primes, as well as Hoyer. So Patel and Hoyer and Alex Diaz are the 3 runners who've decided to go on the hard tyres. So Patel will most likely not be making a stop today.
Michi Hoyer and Carlos Martin battling a little bit. They go through the final corner almost side by side. Let's see Carlos Martin around the outside. He goes around the outside, he runs off track, almost making contact with Michi Hoyer. But I think that's a move done for him.
Wow, that was a nice pass from Martin. He's certainly not playing safe anymore.
Very unexpected around the outside and just break later. He did run, I think, slightly off track. As Sadler makes a slight mistake on the exit of turn 4 that it is. And now he has Jeroen all over him. Sadler not doing too bad. He was actually faster last lap in the middle sector than Marco Conti. But now losing a little bit of time thanks to that mistake.
I'm looking at Danny Bandini all over the back of Islamajan, who is all over the back of Hoyer. So there's a good little fight going on there. So Mohamed Patel, he's on the harder tyres and he's had a good start to this race. So Twister will be very happy about that. The gap between him and the leaders is not that much actually. It's only 4.4 seconds after 2 laps. That's pretty good. And we'll see Marco Conti, obviously on the soft tyres, they're going to have to make a stop.
So here goes Jeroen then on the back of Sadler. And there we go. Sadler had DRS.
Yeah, because I guess he just was within. He didn't look like he was within a second of Conti, but it must have been literally 1-0-0.
Yeah, definitely compromising the effect that Toman has with the DRS.
Very good driving from Sadler. He knows that his best defense is attack. Best defense against Toman is to stay close to Conti, and again he gets the DRS. So Conti's not pulled away, and now that the DRS is enabled, he didn't even manage to break the 1 second window. Patel is caught right up to the back of Martin Hodas for 5th and 6th place. Now the DRS is open too, and Patel is still on the harder tyre.
Danny Van der Niet goes off. Danny Van der Niet is off the track. He had DRS into the first corner, but he just got on the grass, and he lost quite a few positions there. He's back into a 14th place right now. Just a driver's error there. Went wide, got on the grass, and he does manage to keep his car on the track now. He didn't crash into the wall. Meanwhile, Severly is under pressure from Jerry Toman.
Looking at the gap is 9.14 currently. I'm not sure where the activation zone is. I believe it's coming into the left-hander. He's still within a second currently. We'll see now. Oh, he's not now. So now Toman has a chance. I don't think he got the zone that time round, Southerly.
I don't think he has, no. He lost 2/10 in that middle sector, 70 to Conti, that is. So here we go, then Jerry Toman will have DRS. I presume he will be past him. He's already very close to DRS. Will open up now, yeah. Sadly does have DRS, and here comes Jerry Toman then. Sadly, look at that, having a very good straight line speed. He's defending the inside, and he's actually holding a place currently. Toman going for the switchback, the undercut, and it does seem to work. Yeah, early on the throttle, but now Sadly, I think he will have DRS back, so let's see if he can get him back. See, no, yeah, he opens up the DRS.
That'll just defend it. That will just help him against Daniel Kiss, because he would have been vulnerable to Kiss, actually coming onto that straight. But a great pass from Toman there. Great pass. You can see why he's the championship leader. Just very coolly said, okay, that's fine, I'll get you on the exit. Fantastic pass, that's how it's done.
Yeah, good job. Good straight line speed from the Ghost Speed car as well. But, yeah, just as you said.
Sorry, side-by-side action. Mundy and Simon into turn 2. Oh, a little bit of contact. And Van der Niet is trying to recover places. And again, an unnecessary contact again. We see, there's a car up in the background.
Valeriano is off.
Wow, it's a lot of carnage. Some of it unnecessary carnage going on when the pass has already been made. But drivers are doing a nice job holding onto these cars when they are losing body parts on the car. So the position's now updated. We have Daniel Kiss now all over the back of Southerly. That will be a very difficult pass to make. We've seen Southerly has good straight line speed, and he'll have the DRS from Toman in front. But he's right there, Kiss. So if he can't do it, nobody can.
Yeah, what happened with Valeriano? He just clipped a bit of debris from the car, and when that contact was made with Seaman. As we have a car now, that is Daniel Kiss going on the inside of Thomas Severly, and let's have a look.
Southerly outbrakes himself, and another mistake, and now Southerly starting to feel the pressure from some of these mistakes that he's making at the hairpin, and drivers are getting through him. Once you get in that negative rhythm, and another mistake, and that's the problem. Once you get past once, twice, you just find yourself in the wrong position on the track, and he's under pressure from Martin Hodas, who looks at the inside. That's optimistic into that corner. The door always closes when you turn in for that corner. Good smart driving from Hodas to just wait a second. He has Torres right behind him.
Money in the pit.
And look at Toman. Toman's already caught up to Conti. He's right with him. So Conti's pace in the first race has not transitioned as well to the second race. Or maybe we're just seeing finally the pace of that precision car that was trapped behind the Netrex car of Torres the entire race.
Good point, yeah. That's a very good point.
We didn't ever get to see Toman really stretch his legs. And now we have a chance to see it. And he has a chance to take the lead of race number 2. Still an interesting strategy battle though for me. Mohammed Patel is in a good position at this point if he's not going to make a stop. I'm very optimistic for the soft tyres to go the whole way.
So here we go. DRS goes open. He's about a whole second away from Conti. Let's have a look. Too far back though.
Yep. He just got the DRS, but he was just in the tail zone of it. But Again, we see
Meanwhile,
good brakes.
Behind him, we have a bit of action with Hodes and Torres. Torres going for the undercut down in turn 14. Bit of oversteer on the exit there.
Yeah, you get off that rubbered line, you take a little bit too shallow an exit, trying to get the run out, and you get off the rubber and just lose a little bit of traction there. But nicely held from Torres. Doesn't have anybody attacking from behind. Patel on the harder tyres is kind of just sat there. Michi Hoyer's having a good drive as well. So back to the front two. Tolman gets very close around this first part of the lap. He won't be close enough to make a pass into this turn 5.
I think we might see a replay here of the first race with Tolman. He has a very good pace, but I think he has quite a bit of downforce, which means his straight line speed is not that great, and he has very big difficulties passing someone. So it's going to be a bit difficult for him then.
Sorry, Sadler ran really wide through the middle sector, and Hodes was right there. I thought he was even going to get by, and he's right behind him. A very good point though, Jeroen, on the setup of the precision car. Doesn't look like it's set up to overtake people. And will Hodes get by Sadler? He surely will. He's right there, and Torres is right with him. Patel is now caught up to this train. The front two, I don't think Tolman's going to be close enough, so we'll concentrate on this train behind Torres, sliding the car around the turn before the long straight. And here we go, Hodes on Sadler. Hodes will get the straight line speed, but we know Sadler has a quick car, just dancing a little bit to break the stream. And here comes Torres. Torres is actually attacking Hodes. So Hodes doesn't have a whole lot of speed again in that precision motorsports car. Doesn't seem to have the straight line speed. Patel runs really wide but keeps himself on the power. He wants to get in on this action as well. So it is Sadler, Hodes, Torres, Patel going into turn 1. Patel though, on these tyres, has definitely got a lot of pace.
I just want to mention that Marco Condi ran 324 kilometers an hour at the end of the straight, while Jerry Tolman had 318 kilometers an hour with DRS. So his top speed is lower, even though he has DRS, and the top speed is 6 kilometers lower, which is quite a lot, even with DRS.
Yeah, because that is a lot. Maybe that's why Patel went for that move. He could feel that speed on the straight, and he knew that was his chance to make that move. So Twister's definitely gone for the straight line, and Precision's definitely gone for the tricky bits in the middle. It looks like to me Torres is having a torrid time trying to hold on to that Crown 7 Netrex car, and a guy that's not really making a whole lot of headway, you have to say, is Carlos Martin. He's finally caught up a little bit to Patel, but Martin would want to get in on this train, so there is a bit of a train going on now from 3rd position down. Michi Hoyer is having a nice driving night, but he's dropped off the back. Hodes will not get close enough to Sadler once again. Patel very late on the brakes. He can really brake that car late. Patel actually takes a very narrow line as we see drivers coming into the pits now.
Oh, Johnny Seaman is off. At the end of the straight, Johnny Seaman is off, lost his rear wing once again.
The second time somebody bolt that rear wing on. Daniel Kiss was the guy that actually pitted, and that's going to be interesting because he's going to get the undercut if he doesn't get traffic.
Have a look at Severly in 4th position now, battling with Martin Hodes. Hodes trying to go around the outside, but Severly managed to keep that position contact between Torres.
Hoyer, there was a collision between Hoyer and Danny van der Neet at turn 1, and Hoyer looks like he's got a damaged car now. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. I just changed screens and I found Danny van der Neet facing sideways. So we'll see if Daniel Kiss can get the undercut on these drivers in front. Mohamed Patel is right behind Hodes, and again, Torres right behind Sadler. Will Torres be able to make this pass?
A lot of action going on now, and I don't think that the battle to focus on is Condi and Tolman, because Tolman just simply doesn't have a straight line speed, but Severly though, he's in a battle with Torres, so let's have a look what's going on there.
Torres a very narrow line. You can see the back of that car dancing around, but it allows him to stay close and on the power. And I think Torres has a shot here because the Netrex car has a lot more speed than the Precision Motorsports car does on the straight. So here goes Torres. He will get a chance to outbrake Sadler. Sadler good on the brakes. Oh, closes the door. That was a little risky for me.
Very brave.
I don't think that Torres would have liked that one from Sadler. I think Sadler, if you're going to... Oh, and Torres almost hit the wall on the inside of the last turn. That car, the Crown Net 7 Networks car, is very loose at the back, but allows him to stay close. Great driving from Torres to avoid an accident there. I think that might have been breaching the rules a little bit.
I don't know.
Now, can the soft tyres go all 17 laps? That's the question.
That's indeed the question here. Seems like they're pretty consistent at the moment, though. It doesn't look like they are falling off just yet, but only, we've had only 9 laps now, so it's going to be interesting from lap 40, 15 onwards, I think.
Daniel Kiss has played it safe. He's pitted early to get the undercut. If anybody does pit, Kiss will most likely jump them. Mohammed Patel has played it safe on the hards, which we know will last. So he's banking on either of these guys pitting in front. That would surely hand Patel easily the win. They would have pitted by now had they planning on pitting, I would believe. So I think that they're all trying to go to the end of the race except Kiss. We'll see whether Patel can make these hards work as the other guys' tyres go off.
It's interesting is that Patel has a very good pace as well on those hards, because the difference is about 1.5 seconds, but we have Alvaro Torres once again. He's very close to 70. I think he's going to make a move now. His DRS comes open now. He did look really close, so it wouldn't surprise me if he can get past. Here he goes down the inside of turn 14, and Severly doesn't bother defending the inside, and there goes Torres through on the inside. Easy pass. Yeah,
that was first time was a practice, second time was easy, so they come back through. So so none of these guys are going to make a stop. So interesting that Daniel Kiss decided to do that when nobody else has made a stop, so I don't think that's going to really work out too well for him. He's actually coming under pressure from Hoyer. Oh, and there's a contact, Hoyer. Oh, not sure what happened there, whether Kiss was passing Hoyer or Hoyer was passing Kiss, but Kiss has the new tyres, so I'm not too sure why they were getting caught up with each other. As we go back to this group, he definitely looks like, although Tolman really closes in on the start of the lap, the battle that we really need to watch every single time is the battle for third.
I think Tolman has to wait for a mistake of Conti, just like what happened with, I think it was Carlos Martin last race, was it? Or Torres? Cannot remember really.
Yeah, it was Martin and Patel.
Yeah, just has to wait for a mistake and then see if he can get through, because we know that he doesn't have a straight line speed, and Conti has a great straight line speed, reaching 324 kilometers an hour, which is not bad.
At this point, Mohammed Patel is in a very good position. He's got the pace on the hard tyres. He's in a good position as it is, and it can only get better for him because he's hoping that the soft tyres will go off the cliff and really lose performance, in which way he can kind of slice through the field almost like the other guys are on wets. So Patel is in a very good position that at this point it looks like 6th place is the worst that he can possibly finish without a mistake.
Hodes having a look on the inside of Severly. Severly once again closed the door, just like he did last time with Alvaro Torres.
Patel right behind Hodes, and this is bad news going into turn 1. There is going to be a huge accident if all these guys try to go into turn 1 together. Oh, luckily everybody playing it very clever. Martin did not try and move through turn 1.
Mitchie Hoyer is off, lost his front wing. And the end of the straight, he's out of the race. Suspension damage, and that's it for Hoyer. Gonna have a look.
Hodes looks like he's gonna be close enough for a look, and it looks like Martin's close enough for a look on Patel as well. So very interesting here. There's a train going on. Martin broke very, very late and had to get out of it to avoid hitting the back of Patel. There's just a train going on here, and the problem is with DRS, when there's a train of cars, it actually reduces overtaking because everybody gets the DRS. Except the lead car.
There's been a big collision between Hoyer and Valeriano. They hit each other with 300 kilometers an hour. Hoyer is out of the race, Valeriano too. He lost his rear wing. A big collision there. They touched each other on the straight.
On the straight?
It's a very, very weird incident.
I think that one will definitely be looked out afterwards. I don't know how many collisions you see on the straight. But yeah, it's a big accident. It's going to end both the races immediately if that happens.
I would like to apologize for the live stream. It is or the broadcast. It is a bit laggy. We get the reports. Unfortunately, we cannot fix it at the moment because we have to reboot the whole thing. So once again, apologies for that.
Patel ran wide, and Martin will not be close enough to capitalize. But Patel's tires starting to come into it now. But it might be just too late.
Have a look at Seaman as well. Seaman is just behind Alvaro Torres. He just had the blue flag. He's actually keeping up, but it could be interesting because Hoyer, if he is a bit slower than Savelli, he will fall back to Savelli, and you don't know. It might mix up a few things as Torres had a bit of a look, or that's Martin. Sorry, Martin had a little bit of a look on Petal. Petal had a big oversteer moment.
So we're going to go to kiss cam. No, don't grab your girlfriend and start kissing. We are going to look at Daniel Kiss and see whether he has enough to catch the guys in front. And in my opinion, the answer is no. He is the fastest guy on the track right now, but he's still 16 seconds back. So it looks like Daniel Kiss did not make the right move with making that stop, unless the tires really fall off.
I will have a look once again at the top speeds from Conti and Thoman. Thoman reaching 324 now. Meanwhile, Conti 320.
Sounded like he hit the limiter though. Sounds like Thoman hits the limiter.
Yeah, he does. He's in the limiter pretty early as well.
Yeah, like it would still have a good 1 or 2 seconds of straight line speed, so I don't think he's gonna be able to make that pass without a mistake. It's interesting. Drivers, are they allowed to change their settings between race 1 and 2?
It's a very good question. I do think so actually, yeah, but I'm not sure. Might be wrong.
It's interesting that if that is the case, that they didn't change the limiter on Tolman's car after the first race.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah.
Anyway, Martin Hodas and Sadler still going at it. Sadler made those few mistakes early on, looked a bit rattled, but then he's gained his composure again. And Hodas is being a little frustrated behind, and again, it's just precision, struggling to make a pass. And really, this is killing Patel and Martin's race because they cannot get close enough to Hodas to make a pass. So Hodas has to make a pass, or Patel and Martin really have to try and find their way past Hodas.
I do think though that Thomas Savelli is someone who Petal likes at the moment, because I think if Savelli was not there, I think we would have seen Hodas pulling away from Patel maybe, because I think Savelli is just holding that peg up a little bit. We have seen it with Torres. He's already about 3 seconds away since he has passed Savelli, so Savelli might hold up Hodas a little bit, and because of that, Patel can keep up with him. Because he is obviously on the slower tire now.
Very good point. It's just interesting how Patel chose the hard tires. Oh, Patel almost runs right into the back of Hodas. Patel is so late on the brakes since that happened. He almost narrows. He almost doesn't worry. Oh, he runs really wide there. He doesn't worry about taking the usual wide line for that hairpin. He brakes and aims for the apex just to try and help slow the car down. Not too worried about tyre wear, obviously, because he's got the harder tyres on. The soft tyres are holding up very well, though.
Yeah, they are. Have a look as well as Torres right now, because look who is still behind him. Still Johnny Seaman. He's a lap down, but it's unfortunate to see that he had 2 incidents, because he's keeping up with Torres, which is quite interesting if you ask me. He's a lap down, but he is keeping up.
Guess that's the pace of the new tyres.
Yeah, true.
Really making a big difference, but yeah, still a solid drive from Seaman. Just keeps getting caught up in those accidents twice a day. A day to forget for him. I'm just looking if any of these guys can start to make a pass, but it doesn't look like any of them really have. Martin is really struggling to make any sort of ground on Patel. Patel is now a bit closer to Hodas. I think Patel is going to be the one brave enough to try a pass, but you know, after winning the first race finishing in sixth place might not be such a bad thing, but the problem is Tolman is now in second, so you want to make some ground on the championship leader, Mohammed Patel. He's a little far back, but this is how far back he was in race 1 when he made the pass. Difference was Hodas had the DRS.
He has a look as well on the inside of Hodas, just trying to make him nervous. But as you said, I think Patel is the man we're looking at here. We have seen him very comfortable on the brakes, and if there's a man who can, brake from a long way back and try to overtake, it's him.
Patel's pass on Hodas is going to be determined by Sadler, because Sadler can't pull away from Hodas, so Hodas has the DRS to defend himself with.
Good point,
which is really killing Patel's chance, because Patel is so good on the brakes that he can make a pass if he's close enough. Leaders are just the exact same. It's like a replay from race 1 with Tolman and Torres. You just cannot get close enough to make a pass.
I think Sadler is putting up some good lap times. Last lap he was 8 tenths quicker than Otero Torres.
Sorry, Carlos Martin with a big mistake. Looks like he's going to finish in 7th place. He's fallen way off the back of those guys now, so I don't think he's going to really be able to close in
and
again.
Look at Kiss, sorry to interrupt you. Look at Kiss, 9th place. He had a very slight loop.
Oh, Martin's in the wall. His tyres have gone. So now the tyres have gone. Martin is really struggling on these softs. The tyres have given up with 2 laps to go, and Martin now is in the wall. He's got that going again. Van der Neat is under pressure from Kiss, but they're both going to catch up Martin, who is barely moving. Those tyres have gone. So interesting to see if anybody else is due now.
Simon is right now out of the way from
Patel. Patel's going to make a pass this lap on Hodas. Hodas goes defensive, and it looks like these hard tyres are finally becoming good. Round the outside, I don't think so. And Hodas, and good driving from both of those to not take each other out. Vanny van der Neat gets passed by Daniel Kiss, but he tries to hold it up the inside, and he's going to hold it. Danny van der Neat killing Daniel Kiss's strategy unless Kiss can get the pass done into the last turn. This is going to be difficult. Kiss, just scrapes by, and Danny van der Neat runs really wide. So that's that finished. Mohammed Patel did not get past Martin Hodas yet. These soft tyres starting to lose grip, but only 2 laps to go.
Interesting stuff from Martin, who just lost his rear end, I think.
Yeah, I think everybody's losing those rear tyres coming off the corners. And look, Sadler under pressure. Torres, we've seen Carlos Martin's tyres have gone. And Torres now really beginning to struggle on those tyres.
Yeah, he made a mistake. He has the same problem as his teammate, I think.
Look at the speed.
Yeah, Crown 7 Network's not good on the tyres. And Sadler might have a chance now to come back at him, interestingly enough.
And this might have cost Netrex the first race too, because we saw he had a big gap, but the tyres must have just not been as fresh as everybody else. And this is going to be easy pass for Sadler.
Yeah, he's
needs to get it done. Oh, he made a mistake though, and now Hodas is going to be right behind Sadler. Sadler needs to get this pass done ASAP. How many will get past? How many will get past Torres this lap? Torres weaving back and forth like crazy. Only 1 lap to go. Nobody will get past Torres this lap. Wow. Torres though stops it dead.
Very late on the brake. Sadler has a moment of oversteer as well. We see so many cars having oversteer now. Patel had it as well.
And Patel is just licking his chops, thinking I can get all 3 of these guys, but surely he has to. He's on the hard tyres. Their tyres have gone.
Across the line.
Wow. And that's it. I thought there was another lap left. I was hoping Patel would have got all of those guys. But that's how it finishes then.
Very close between 3rd, 4th, and 5th and 6th. We saw that battle there. And the soft runners definitely are happy now that the race ended.
Oh yes, one more lap and the positions would have looked a lot different. I think Patel is kicking himself. It didn't happen a lap earlier.
So we have Marco Conde then winning this race. And Jeroen Toman in 2nd. We have seen him struggling with straight line speed. Couldn't get past. In the end, he was 1.5 seconds away from Conde. He did have very good pace though in clean air. We have Alvaro Torres in 3rd place. Thomas Savely doing a really good job actually in the Ghost Speed car, finishing in 4th. If he had a bit more time, he might have passed Torres, who his tires were just dead. Then we have 5th, Martin Ode. 6th is Muhammad Patel on the harder tire, trying a different strategy. And then 7th is Carlos Martin. We have seen him struggling with tires as well. Both Crown 7 Networks actually struggled. Daniel Kiss in 8th, Danny van der Niet in 9th, Norbert Liedner in 10th.
And interesting, Daniel Kiss only finished 2/10 behind Carlos Martin. So that must have been a close drag to the line there on those guys. But Martin just manages to hold on to 7th place. And he could have lost places from Danny van der Niet as well. So he'll be delighted that that race ended when it did. So I think that's all from us. And 2 great races there, Jeroen.
Yeah, awesome races. The first one is still in my mind, and it will be there forever. It was amazing in the final lap. I do think, though, that there will be quite some talking right now on the forum at the end of this race. There's definitely some homework to do for the stewards, and we will see what the decisions are from the steward. And we had obviously this race, which was quite exciting too. Most people doing soft tires. I don't think a lot of people struggled finishing on those softer tires, except for the Crown 7 Networks team, who seemed to be right in the cliff there when they entered the final lap. And Carlos Martin already struggled in lap 15 onwards.
And of course, the ACE Championship always provides great information for the teams for tomorrow's race, which is one that everybody's really looking at to see exactly who's going to take the win for the Shanghai Grand Prix. Any thoughts about that race for tomorrow?
Well, we will see what's going to happen. In the World Championship, we have seen Morgan Morand absolutely dominating the first race at least. So that will be exciting. And obviously we have the Pro as well. So it's going to be exciting tomorrow.
So make sure you catch those 2 races if they're anything like what we saw today. Oh boy, are we in for a treat. I'm going to go ahead and rest my voice for the rest of the day. And I'm sure I'll be watching the action tomorrow with everybody here. So thank you to Jeroen and myself for commentating today. I finally got my R factor working after a while. I missed qualifying, but I'm glad that I saw these races live. They don't look quite as good on the timing sheets.
Yeah, I want to thank you. Good job. And also thanks to Sam Jones providing the cameras. Our usual camera guy, Jaco, is doing some personal stuff. So Sam Jones taking over that role. So thank you to him. And once again, thank you, Matt. And we will see you next time. So stay tuned for tomorrow when we have a few good races. And that's it from us. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Enjoy the action.